here we are bringing in another one of our hosts. This is Allayah from the Circle of Heart. Good morning, Allayah, and how are you?
Good morning, Ann. Up in New Jersey, we've got beautiful snow out here.
Lots of snow, and the reason you could not be with us to celebrate the Creating Calm Holiday Bash is you are going to be busy celebrating that day yourself. And what are you celebrating?
13 years of marriage to my soulmate.
Oh.
You know, he's been with me through and through my illness, through all the challenges, and he has his own health challenges, and he's just a beautiful earth angel. And it's a beautiful relationship, but just like all relationships, these days we bat heads. So I figured...
But today is a celebration day, huh? You can bat heads tomorrow.
That's correct. That's why I figured I better make it nice.
Right, yeah, or else like Allayah said, I'd be working on her divorce if she showed up to celebrate with us. But Allayah, tell us about the Circle of Hearts. What is your mission or your goal? What do you like to accomplish when you have your show? And her show is on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
It's kind of complicated. The Circle of Hearts, that phrase came to me a good 10 years ago. It was a healing circle of many people I met of different paths. And we came together, and weekly we would place a person in the circle or an earth situation in the circle. And Circle of Hearts has always sort of been a tag that I've been associated with. And when I met Ann and I had to have a name of a show, I go, Circle of Hearts came out. My mission is to reach out to people and to share knowledge. I don't consider myself a teacher. I just have a lot of experiences and share them, and to get people talking and to reach out to their hearts. That's why I have a weekly heart meditation, which I'm now expanding into a healing meditation, because we did that for a young soul that incarnated. She was only a pound and a half, and just putting it on Facebook and on the Circle of Hearts, we've had hundreds of people all over the world praying for this, this little preemie who's thriving. She's now almost a month old. So that's the whole thing, is to get people interactive, to connect. So that's my mission as far as, this radio shows. It's another avenue. I have forums, I have websites, but the radio show is a different way of reaching out to people one-to-one.
And when you're on the radio, you might have a plan A that you're going to be sharing, and sometimes it turns out to be plan spirit. Can you share with our listeners how sometimes spirit takes over your radio show?
It does. All week I have plans and notes. This is what I'm going to discuss, And Sunday morning comes, and before the radio show, I usually light a candle and listen to some music, and my higher self, Allayah aspect, comes in. So that blows off all my preparation, because usually it's this higher self aspect that takes off and expresses what energy maybe, wants to be expressed during the weekly show. So I never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
But whatever it is exactly as it should be. We know that. We know that. You're getting lots of wonderful followers who are really soul connected to your mission. I like that. Allayah, can you tell us why you love where you live now? One of the questions is if you could live anywhere, and you told me that you really love your bit of heaven right now. Can you share with us what you love about your life right now?
Well, I have, we're fortunate. We have a large family house, and about 5 acres of land. And on the land, it's filled with trees, white birches, and we have big fields in the back, and daily you have the deer families coming up. They're nibbling on the grass and the trees. And then we have wild turkeys there. And we have owls around and golden eagles, and it's just the land is beautiful. And then inside, my husband's very artistic, so we have like a Victorian era house here, and he's also very creative. He with metalwork, so he has big light poles and a big sled he made out there for me, and I have his energy in here, which is extremely supportive, and I have my 2 pups who are just little love bunnies. So, this is my little heaven on earth here.
What kind of pups do you have?
Oh, well, they're mutts.
Well, that's
like
good.
3, I think they have like 3 breeds in there. One was supposed to be Maltese and Pomeranian, but I think they're sisters.
Yeah.
But it looks like Maltese, Bichon, Shih Tzu.
Yeah.
A Heinz 57 thing going on there.
No, I'm a mutt fan. I rescue, as you know, and so I have 3 mutts myself. So I love our fur children.
I do too. They make us happy.
And they're the unconditional lovers of our world.
And really the healers. When I was sick, I had our Yorkie, which just passed a few years ago, and she was constantly with me as I healed, on my lap, laid on me, she was just there. And then when my husband got sick, she left me and went to him.
Mm.
So she took on a lot of our energy, and helped us heal. Yeah. And then after 12 years, I think she was worn out. But then she sent these other 2 pups to us. Because after she had passed, I had gotten a vision of these 2 animals, these 2 pups. And I had told my husband, and he was heartbroken. He goes, no. And then he said, okay, we have to find them. So that's what we did. We went around and we found them. Yeah. Don't ask me how, but we found them.
No, and I know that story. When my dog Ruby died, I think she sent Simmy, one of my 2 rescues, to come back and help us with our heart. So I understand that very much.
Yeah,
Allayah, would you share with us, just to help have people see what you've come through and the courage that you've had? You've had a very scary moment in your life, and it was a very turning point, I would think. Would you mind sharing that with us?
Well, prior to 1999, I was a hospice nurse and into natural things, and then my health all of a sudden just went kaput. I ended up with a massive brain tumor on the base of the stem of my, it's right behind my neck. Mm-hmm. At the base of the stem, where they call the sea of the soul. But it was pretty much, in retrospect, looking all my life, because I was slightly different, always told, be quiet, suppress my voice. So, this constant suppression affected my throat chakra. It's a really, really big brain tumor. Mm-hmm. So when I went to the neurologist, and he just looked at Hank and I, and he goes, you better get your affairs in order. If you make it, if we can do anything, you make the surgery, survive through the surgery, you'll probably be a vegetable all your life. And I wasn't having any of that. I'm not gonna own this. That's all that kept on going through my head. He was mad. He kept on saying you're in denial and all of this stuff. I kept on saying I refuse to own it. Went through the 13-hour surgery. Had massive I have this huge hole in my skull behind my ear. I'm deaf on my left side, visually impaired. It took me, when I came out of it, my whole left side of my face looked like it just melted. So here I am, bald head, stitches in head, melted face, can't see, can't hear. It was a very interesting time. And my mouth, which is centered now, it was totally on my right side. I had to learn to eat, walk, just like a newborn babe. I had to learn everything. And I had gone in my head, I asked Hank to get me a computer. So he was just glad I was around, so he says, I'll get you whatever you want. After destroying a few modems, I taught myself to use the computer. And it's been a healing process. I was drawn to remember working with the essential oils and a lot of information to channel all of a sudden just started coming through. So healing and integrating, all my abilities, etc. So I'm pretty much homebound because when I walk, my balance is off. I look like I'm drunk. Mm-hmm. But it's all this massive nerve damage. But I just keep on plodding out there, and that's why Anne's radio show, when I had the chance, Spirit said, do it. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but, with her support, here I am.
And it's beautiful. I just love it. And I love that you have a way to share your message and your mission and to get us all somewhat connected, because I think that we have become separate people in this world, and we are not. We have that beautiful interconnection of soul spirit that we forget about. So you remind us.
Well, it's just sharing, and people, like you said, it helps remind them. It's like if you meet somebody, an average person, I try not to be intimidated, and just show my vulnerability, and just saying, this is what I went through, but if I can get through this, you can get through it.
Yeah.
And that's how we seem to connect, and it just keeps building.
Allayah, what is your guiltiest pleasure? Do you have a secret guilty pleasure, whether it's a food treat or a time somewhere you do, covet your time? What is your guiltiest pleasure?
My husband has, when we were living in this house, we were taking care of his elderly parents and his brain-damaged brother on top of everything else. And he built me my own bathroom. That's my little song. That's my get away from the world. He told me to build a whirlpool tub, and I decorated, built fancy, Victorian type things. And when I get really stressed, I go into my room, and it's like, as he says, no one else is allowed there. That is my room.
And what is it like? Does it have did you say a whirlpool in it as well, or is it just a private, like a sanctuary?
No, one of those whirlpool tubs.
Oh, goodness.
And we just, like I said, I like Victorian, so, I got the, it's just very frilly, very warm looking, I got plants, candles, crystals, the whole works.
Oh, your secret cave or your hideaway.
Yeah,
oh,
that's it. Even when the days I want to hit him with a frying pan, get a glass of wine, and I'll go and take, my hot whirlpool bath.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed this sneak peek of Allayah from the Circle of Hearts. If you would like to feel her love energy, her wisdom, tune in on Sundays on the Creating Calm Network, and you can find her also at www.creatingcalmnetwork, and you'll see her bio there and some links to get in touch with her. So I'm so happy we could introduce you to our global audience, Allayah, and have a beautiful celebration with your husband and celebrate the love that you two share with each other.
Okay. Thank you, Anne. And you have a wonderful, exciting adventure with this wonderful network. Because I keep on saying, this is a new template for where people, it's a major support system on many levels for people. So, keep following your dream, man.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for all your support, Allayah.
Okay, take care.